There are three signs that I'm looking at that could literally just stop this pump, and everybody who's long gets stopped and whatever. We're going to look at those. But as you see, the odds of a recession is skyrocketing after this whole tariff war. And although it's a crypto show, we have to talk about it. We have to talk about the fact that there is this tariff thing going on like crazy on the traditional markets, and unless we understand what's happening here, we're not gonna know like what is going to happen with crypto. We see Canada pushing hardcore back. We see China making statements that whether it's a tariff war, a trade war, or any other type of war, we're ready to fight till the end. So it's kind of crazy. And then we have news coming out yesterday that says, oh, there will be a compromise announcement, meaning he'll just push back and be like, oh, maybe we're not even going to implement the tariffs. So you have to understand that the whole market is basically driven by these tariff news and Trump announcements and whatnot. Now, what is interesting, and I want you to see, I found this here, which was about the trade war that happened in 2019, or the tariff war that happened in 2019. And you see here, this little red dot is where, or red line is the S&P now, and the white line is the S&P back then. So technically, we should be coming close to an end if history repeats itself, or a little bit rhymes. The market has wiped off $1 trillion since December 18th, which is absolutely wild. Liquidations the past week have been just mind-boggling. 900 million February 23, 1.2 billion 24th, 800 million 25th, 900 million 27th, 800 million on March 2nd, and 1.1 billion in the last 24 hours. So there's a bunch of reasons to think that we are going to bounce. So as you look at this, we see that the fear and greed is started to have a little bit of hockey stick back here. So we had an extreme dip from 44 last month down here to like 15 yesterday. And then now we're having a bounce here up to the 20. We see Larry Fink and everybody else is basically trying to hold up the price. Just saying you have to buy the dip, you have to buy the dip. And the market does buy the dip. So we're going to talk about all this. I'm going to talk about a bunch of different stuff. We're going to look at the charts. We're going to look at what can really stop this pump, and I want to help you understand what tokens you might be wanting to buy and when you want to buy them. If you are here and if you enjoy this content, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. Let me know in the chat, which I'm looking at here now. Jesus, no, it's just Fefe. Sorry, and it's just Fefe. Don't worry, it's not Jesus, it's just Fefe here. So what's happening, guys? GM family, we can go both ways from here. Yes, but we have certain levels that we can look for. Your prediction are mind-blowing. Can we do any 100x challenge or 50x challenge in our community? It would be great. Well, I'm a very reasonable trader, and I will tell you that if you want to pull 100x, you have to take excessive risks. We can do that, but I just want you to understand this. Polar bearish. Good day, everyone. Tariff is postponed, right? It's not. It's on. Tariffs are on. The war is on. China, Canada, Mexico, all things is happening. So it is happening. Go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Again, please like the show. I have a special guest as well that we're going to talk about today. A lot of people are calling for this to be a high or low. So a lot of people are calling for the bottom in, and I told you that I do think the bottom should hold. If it doesn't hold, we have a massive problem, and this is why I'm actually bullish. I do think we're going to consolidate a lot, but I also agree that the bottom should be in, although this is not a higher low on a higher time frame, which we're going to talk about in a second. I wanted to give a second here as well, because I know a lot of you we have an exchange partner called WEEX, and yesterday there was massive liquidations happening. So if you look at this, there was this $100,000 candle of Bitcoin that ETH went to zero, but it's a front-end issue. So a lot of people DM me and they were angry and they were mad that WEEX is a scam and all that. So what actually I said that I'm gonna have Thomas, who is working with us at WEEX, on here on the show today. So he's here in the back end, and he's going to help us understand what really happened and how they are compensating everything for the users. They paid already I think it's like $2.5 million back to the users, so everybody will be compensated. Stick around for that because I think it's very relevant and very important, and we're here to clear the air on that. But let's jump into the show, guys. If everybody's feeling good, I think it's time. Cause can you please check if the like button works, because this doesn't seem to be going up. It does. Are you sure? 100% it works. So guys, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna open up my horse. I'm not saying horse piss, but I'm gonna open up my little water here. Okay. And I'd like you to like the show if you get any alpha from this. If you don't, that's fine as well. Then don't like the show. But if you do, please like the show so I can bring you more of these. This is good. This is good. Cause the man, the meat, the G. Scam weeks on WEEX. It was a glitch. We're gonna talk about it. Thomas is gonna be here. We're gonna talk about it. Okay, let's go. So here we go. Trump's big announcement. We've been all euphoric. Oh my God, Trump is going to come out and do an announcement. Tuesday is going to be insane. It's going to be mind-blowing. It's going to be the best thing that ever happened to us. It's definitely crypto. You know, people who are telling you these are complete idiots. And I told you that it is not going to be crypto. And I told you that I just hope it's not going to be anything related to USA leaving NATO, because if it does, then it's going to be a problem. But what really happened is a lot of things happened. So happily, it wasn't like one big announcement where he went out and was like, we're going to leave NATO or something like that. Happily, that didn't happen. So if you missed this was the first thing I wanted to know when I woke up. If you missed this, I wrote a complete thread. So you can go down into the description. You can find it. What really happened is you go lower here, you go down here, and you will be able to see it. You will be able to see it here. Link to Fefe's thread, and you will be able to land on this thread that I wrote up or we posted here on the whole thing. One thing, there was a lot of things that's been said. You will find references and whatever here, which is kind of cool. But one thing that I think is very important, two things actually. One is Trump, Ukraine, and Russia peace talks are moving forward. So you see, I'm going to talk about that in a second as well. But that will have potentially some kind of impact on the market. And the second, what is super important, is that Trump pushes for tax cuts. He said that the next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. And then he looked at the Democrats and he was like, "You guys gonna vote because people are not gonna vote you anytime ever." So anyway, so this is important, and of course the reciprocal tariffs that is going. If you tariff us, he says he will tariff back. So it is going to be interesting. So these three things are very relevant that we need to pay attention to. Now, one is the war in Ukraine and whatever. I'm not gonna talk a lot about this, but it's very, very important. Very important at this stage for crypto and for the global markets. Zelensky came back and is basically like, we do really value America. Our meeting in Washington and the White House on Friday did not go away. It's put, oh no shit, it didn't. But there is apparently a move forward with the minerals there, and that means that the war could potentially end at some point, which would be very, very good. I don't think it's going to have a massive impact on the market, but I do think that it is going to be a great news that will take out one uncertainty from the equation, which is obviously going to help the markets when the recovery comes. Now, very important to the other thing that he talked about is tax cuts, and there is this discussion going on that there will be a 0% capital gain tax on crypto if you hold for 12 months. This is obviously just rumors from people that are close to the fire, but there is this White House crypto summit happening on Friday, and all eyes are happening on this. Now, this is the first thing that I do think can really screw this pump up, because Trump, obviously with all the tariffs, that's one. The White House meeting, crypto summit, is two, because the reason why this can really screw things up is because there is a very high expectation. And I don't know if you remember, if you've been here or you've seen it, but when we had David Sachs come on and do his first press conference, everybody was going euphoric. The guy's gonna announce Bitcoin National Reserve, and then nothing happened. And then the market really, really dumped because the expectations were extremely high. Now, here's the thing. I do think that something similar is going to happen here. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that I think it's going to be a nothing burger. I think he's going to make an announcement, probably going to reassure people that yes, there will be a Bitcoin strategic reserve, and potentially talk about the tax cuts, right? But we see a lot of people being invited, so it's actually going to be a wide table. We see Michael Saylor has been invited, and a bunch of other people, founders, billionaire founders, and there is this discussion whether it's going to be, again, the strategic Bitcoin reserve, the tax cut, or whatnot announced. Now, here's my thoughts, to be very honest with you. The reason why I do think this is going to... Oh my God, my free meeting will end here. Hold on a second. Thomas is here with me on Zoom, and for some reason the Zoom I logged in with is not it says that the free meeting is ending. I don't know why it's a free meeting. Anyway, so the reserve, according to the US, so it's either going to be the announcement regarding the national reserve, or it's going to be an announcement regarding the tax cuts, right? So we got to look for it. But here's what I'm thinking. The reason why I don't think it's going to move the markets is because all cards are on the table now, except the tax cut. Like, that's literally the only thing tax-free on crypto. Could be big, but is it enough to push us above 100,000? I don't know. So he's going to say, yes, we're going to do. If he announces any numbers, I think it's way too early. But if he announces any numbers for any reason, he's going to say, yeah, we are going to buy, I don't know, $1 million worth of Bitcoin, you know, or 1 million Bitcoin. Then it would be something that I would be like, okay, this is probably something interesting. I can't pull up the Zoom here. That I would say, yeah, it's probably going to be something interesting. But other than that, it's not really. Let me go back here. Yes, and then I said we're gonna have Thomas. Now my Zoom just crashed, so maybe we just call him on FaceTime. I don't know what's gonna happen. We'll figure this out. But let's jump in here. Also, guys, I want to know what's happening. What's happening here? Cuz, can you log in on my Zoom? Why? Okay. Thoughts on Sol? We're going to look at Solana. There's no chance in the market from whatever Trump said. I agree. It's not going to be easy. I have zero expectations, so happy all the time. You must be a happy person. That must be. What next? I feel very still. Yes, I do agree. So this was 3. And this was 2 reasons that can really stop this pump. And the third one is the TA, right? Technical analysis. So here's how I look at the whole thing. Here's what I'm looking at least. If I drafted this and I said we are going to come a little bit lower, then we're going to have a push, and then we're going to have a liquidation event. So I do think that the announcement and the hype around the Friday summit is going to be a little bit of a letdown. And I do think even though we can have a push up here, I do think we're going to have another sell-off before we actually rally. Now, if you look at the total market cap, what I would imagine happening is structurally, here is how it looks. If you look at the 4-hour charts, this is a very, let me just delete this here. This is a very, very, very clear higher high here. A very, very clear higher high, okay? Very clear. That means that after forming a market structure shift, a higher high on a 4-hour time frame, which is quite a high time frame, what happens here is a pullback. Beautiful pullback. Everything is fine so far. Now, what has to happen is a formation of another high to confirm a 4-pointer structure. So you have a low, you have a high, you have a low, and you have a high. When you have, because still keep in mind that on the daily structure, this is my daily structure, okay? So this here is my daily structure. Within here, whatever happens doesn't really matter on the daily. It can happen anything like this until it has a breakout to the upside or a breakdown to the downside. Anything that happens in between is just fluff, okay? So for the daily confirmation, we still need to break above the 3.24 trillion. The question really is, if you want to get earlier, if you want to do scalps, what do you really do? Well, you need a 4-pointer structure confirmation. Once you got the 4-pointer structure, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Usually, you want to get in on the 5th leg. And the 5th leg is usually a retrace down here to the 50% of the last one. Now, if we, and here is how I think is going to happen. Again, I'm not a fortune teller. I'm just preparing for outcomes on the trade and how I closed all my long positions, I'll be honest with you. And the reason why I closed them is, 1, because we didn't really know what will happen on Trump's announcement. I was thinking he was going to go crazy. So I did close my positions yesterday, and the second is that I'm not sure about this whole Friday event 2 days from now. So I'm not sure it's going to be that bullish as people expect it to be, and I do think it's going to be a sell the news event. So if you look at this structurally, here's what I would be interested at. We should not break, and this is what I think is going to happen. We will most likely not break above the 3.1 trillion mark. Okay, we most likely are not going to break above that level, but we're going to consolidate within this range and build up liquidity like this, have a sell-off, potentially have the sell-up of Friday or the weekend, and then from there off, make a higher high and then create the 4-pointer structure, consolidate a little more and send it to all-time highs. Like, this is what I'm thinking. What I personally think is possible is that, yes, it is possible that Bitcoin can close above the 100,000 by the weekend. If it's an extremely bullish news, if he comes forward and he says, hey, it's going to be like the craziest, thing ever. We're going to buy 1 million Bitcoin in the next 15 years and whatever, and he puts it in writing, and then yes, of course, Bitcoin is going to 120, 130,000. But ultimately, what I'm thinking is that most likely what is going to happen is a short reaction before this event comes out. Friday, we have the event, and it's a sell-off into it because there will be no additional news coming in. If that's the case, it is going to be a massive sell news event. So just as a summary for this, I'm just delete this. just as a summary, what I do think is going to happen is I do think we're going to consolidate here. We're not going to make a new high up here at 3.11 trillion. Maybe we week through, but it's not going to be a close above. We're going to consolidate. We're going to liquidate this low first. Once we liquidate that, we are going to close above the 3.11 trillion, marking a 4-point structure, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a retrace is where I'm going to be very interested in buying. Unless Trump announces something crazy and specific numbers and whatever on the Bitcoin reserve. Not even the tax cut on capital gains on Bitcoin. I think not even that is going to change that. But if he's going to come forward and he's going to give numbers and when are they buying and all that stuff, I do think that we can go to all-time highs immediately. But ultimately, I do think that this is going to be the playbook that I'm going to play with. So we've still got time. That said, guys, what is happening in here? Let me just see if everybody is doing fine. Let me just see here what's happening. I want to ask as well, Thomas. I don't know if Thomas is here. I don't know how. I have to upgrade here because that's the problem. Like it takes a long time to upgrade this for me here. I can't upgrade this live. All right, we'll just see what's happening. Let's see. What's happening here? GM sounds pretty likely, bruv. Bad news, it will drop. Good news, it will drop. Welcome to the new market. Can you set one up? Please send some scalps today. We got to look at the market. I just really want to get Thomas in here. Thomas, are you here? I don't know if Thomas, can you hear me? I don't know if Thomas can hear me, but I have 1 minute here on this thing. It's just such a shame that we have this because I really wanted to, I'm creating a meeting because I'm creating. Okay, let me see if we can bring him in here. Sorry guys, we're gonna sort this out. Here we go. Thomas is here. Thomas, I'm gonna send you a link because the Zoom thing is expiring and I don't know what's happening. So I'm gonna send you a new link. That's what I'm gonna send you a new link, Thomas. Now, please log in there. We're just gonna make sure that we have that. We have to do this. Let's jump in here. So we'll see if Thomas can come and jump in here. We'll see if he's able to jump in here. I want him to be able to explain what really happened here. My friend. Yes. I think we sorted this. Cuz we'll just circle back if the sound is good. But if the sound is good, then I think it should be fine. We had some issues with this Zoom thing, so I'm happy we solved this. So here's what's happening for until we wait for the confirmation from Cuz. If anybody doesn't know, we have a partner called WEEX, okay? And Thomas is our partner there. He works with us closely. I like the platform. They offer very, very good deals for you guys, 0% maker fees and much more. And they had this liquidation event or this massive wick to 100,000 yesterday. And then ETH went down to like $8 or whatever that was. And a lot of people got liquidated. And as I said, I'm going to get Thomas onto the show here. And I want to see what you guys have to ask him or say to him and rather him explain what has really happened. So let me just, is it good? Okay, Thomas, can you say something?
Yep. Can you guys hear me?
I think it's working. You think it's okay? Cuz thinks he's working. Okay, good. Let's see. So Thomas, thank you so much for joining in here. And I know it's probably like a tough time and a lot of things are happening and you guys are extremely busy. So we appreciate you coming and jumping on here immediately. And I even tweeted about it and said like your leadership on this and immediately putting out the tweet saying everybody will be compensated is great. So how are you? What's happening?
I'm actually very good. Thank you so much, Fefe, for having me here today. Right,
cool,
and then
cool.
as you said, the whole team. I think the whole team last night we didn't really even have a rest, and I'll explain more later. Right, but I mean, like Fefe said, we experienced some glitches here and there, but I think it's all solved right now. Yeah.
Tell us what happened. So here's what I know. People DMing me, they're like, "Oh my God, WEEX is a scam. They liquidated me. I'm done with. It's you guys are a scam. Everybody's a scam." So what happened? Tell us what happened.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, last night, as some of you guys might have noticed, there was a glitch in the chart, right? So wick to 100K for BTC, and then $8 for ETH, right? But this is mainly due to one of our WEEX trader server, right? We experienced an abnormal status due to excessive memory pressure on some of the nodes, right? And then the root cause of this is really just the recent deployment of the excessive number of trading pairs on these nodes, right? Because recently we have grown tremendously.
Let me understand this. Let me understand this. So it's the result of excessive number of trading pairs and users. What do you mean? What does that mean?
Yeah, so for sure. So let me just explain this a little bit more, right? So recently we have grown very quickly in terms of users, right? And we have been very active with listings, right? We grew from 300 plus listings pairs, futures pairs, to now 700 plus, right? In just 2 months. So with this growth, right? And then we will need to calculate the funding rate at a certain time every single day, right? So at that time, we had to settle a huge amount of funding rates all in 1 second, right, leading to a very huge increase in memory usage, and then this resulted in like the chart being very weird, right? But so we weren't like, our server basically didn't keep up with our increase in users as well as futures pairs, and that is the main reason for this cost. Yeah.
So do I understand it right that it's rather like a front end tech issue that really happened? It's not a liquidity issue.
No, 100% a tech issue on the server side, which we have solved completely right now. Yep.
Okay, so what happens with the people who, like, there's a bunch of people who lost money, you know, they're angry. What happens now?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, since the first day we met and all this while, we have the 1,000 BTC protection fund, right? And then that protection fund, so during incidents like this, we will use the protection fund to ensure that all our users are safe, right? First of all, we'll compensate all losses caused by during this incident, right? Actually, we have compensated more than 2,000 users already, right, with more than $2 million in dollar amount. Right, and our customer support team, all you guys have to do is just fill up the form. I believe we also have a WEEX X 𝗙𝗘𝗙𝗏 exclusive TG account, right? So you guys can head over there, just drop in your UID, and then our team will review, and then we'll compensate accordingly.
So you have about 1,000 Bitcoin fund. That's like almost 100 million. That is specifically designed to refund users, or like if something like this happens. You know what's interesting for me is what Thomas also talked about. I just want to highlight that, so you can go on here in the description, and there is a dedicated channel for us. So you click on here, liquidate on BTC. We click here for compensation. So you're literally gonna get into a Telegram group here with WEEX representatives, and they're gonna guide you through. It's not like an AI thing. They're gonna guide you through and help you get your money back. So please go into the description and do that if you have been impacted, because that's happening. But also it's important to understand that like a lot of people, and I see a lot of anger. That's the honest truth, right? And I always keep it real on the channel, on my X, everywhere, and rightfully so. You know, people open positions, they don't want to see this happen. But what I want people to understand as well, and just to reflect on your growth, is that it happens a lot of when you build a product and you go very, very fast. And a lot of times I talk about it on my vlog as well, is that you go so fast that at some point you feel like the thing is breaking, but you still pull it off somehow. And things like this happen. And the reason why I truly appreciate you guys, and the reason why you're on the show now, is because first of all, very fast response. Second, immediately came out. You already how much money did you already refunded? It's about 2 million, eh?
Yeah, more than 2 million. Actually, the last update I received 2.5 already so far. Yeah.
2.5 million, and it's less than 24 hours ago. So you already processed 2.5 million refunds. I think it's really good, and I think this is exactly why I think it's not only the platform that is great, but the leadership as well. So how do you guys move forward? Why is this not going to happen again?
Yeah, for sure. So we have already, like, once this happened, right, we have already optimized the funding rate settlement logic, right? Like I said before, everything was done within 1 second for all pairs, right, before this. But right now, what we'll do is we'll separate them into batches, and then we'll settle them in multiple seconds, right? This will take a lot of the pressure off our server, right? Additionally, we'll have also expanded the server as well as the nodes, so that, you know, pairs are more distributed among different nodes right now. Yep.
Okay, so it's fixed. That's what matters.
Yep. Conclusion: it's 100% safe right now, and it's our platform is back to its stability. So you guys are more than welcome to trade. Yeah.
Cool. Thomas, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for jumping on and taking the time, hey?
Yeah.
We'll talk
thank
to
you so
later.
much, Fefe. Yeah, thanks.
Take care. So again, like what I can tell you, the reason why, because of the platform, also the 0% maker fees, that means you literally don't pay any money for trading on if you have limit orders. But also, I'm actually more confident now than I was previously. And the reason is, I see a lot of people say it's not worth the risk and all that. Bro, if these guys literally reached out to us, they fixed it, they have $100 million to refund any glitches that happen. This is incredible, in my opinion. You do your own research, you decide what you want to do. If you want to trade 0% fees, obviously sign up if this gives you any value. If you think it's not worth your time or your risk, that's absolutely fine as well. I'm very happy that Thomas jumped on here, and I really appreciate their involvement and the way they actually handle the whole thing. So it's very, very good. I think it's not about making mistakes, it's about correcting those mistakes and how do you actually react to them. So we talked about the charts. I think it's time to talk about some other stuff, some other tokens. And I know you guys asked me, what tokens we should look at and what should we do. So what is interesting, as Mal says here, that the percentage of the 90-day returns greater than Bitcoin, so the percentage of altcoins, other tokens, that has greater returns than Bitcoin in the past 90 days is historic low. So it's like, if you look at this is actually quite a cool graph here. You see, before the 2021 bull market, this is the level almost where we've been, where the parabolic bull really started. We have 2017 level down here, 2018, where the parabolic bull started. So if you look at this, I do think that we can have a decent bounce here. The question really is that the geopolitical situation and the economic situation can be fixed. If it is, and this whole tariff thing is out of the window, then like everything else, crypto will bounce, and crypto will bounce the harder. Because if you look at this, there's $3.5 trillion that has been wiped from the S&P, although it's been happening a couple of days, but there was over $1 trillion wiped from the crypto market. Now the difference is that the crypto market is like a tiny portion, yet still we have had the biggest hit of them all. Some tokens are down 70% that are major protocols. So anyway, this could be a great time to start accumulating some of the tokens. One of the things I'm looking at ETH again. I know. Don't get me started on ETH, but yes, ETH. I do think there will be a rally on ETH. We are at the lowest RSI levels since May 2022 during the bear market. The bottom wasn't reached then, and the price dropped another 60%. So we do still have a little bit more. We still do have a little bit more if history repeats itself to go on ETH. But Ben Cowan has a very cool point here. And the point is that in 2019, ETH started rallying when the quantitative tightening ends and quantitative easing starts. Okay, so when basically they're going to start printing money, they're going to start injecting money into the economy, they're going to start cutting rates again. That is when ETH could have a rally. What you see it happen, a fake out here, which is the exact same thing here, a fake out to the upside. Then it followed with a massive dip down here into this band, and then a recovery. So I do think ETH can dip another, down to the 1500-ish region, depending on what the geopolitical situation and the economy will be like. But in general, I do think that it can happen. Now, if you look, my biggest indicator for the bull or for an ETH rally is the ETH BTC chart. I said it a million times, and I said what I really am looking for is a recovery on ETH. Now, you will have time to get in. So when you see a higher high, which currently sits at like 0.032-ish, if you see a recovery above that level, I do think it's a great idea to start deploying into ETH and start getting into it. So I'm still waiting on that. I'm not in a rush. If we would take this low, which I wish it happens, especially on a very bullish announcement at 22.8, I will look at a recovery up here to the 0.03. That happens again. Fantastic opportunity, in my opinion, to start long in ETH. What else do we have here? We talked about ETH. We do have, inflation. So talking about inflation and quantitative tightening, when that can happen. A lot of people obviously are eyeing a cut and 3 cut actually, in fact. And Lutnick puts it very nicely here. He's being asked whether this whole tariff thing not impacts inflation and increases inflation. In fact, listen to this.
Be willing to take an inflation if all of a sudden they hit us right back?
Remember, so you made one comment. So inflation comes from a government printing more money. Some prices can rise. This bottle of water.
It can't happen at all.
No, tariffs do not. Tariffs do not create inflation. Printing money creates inflation. You have a balanced budget. There can't be.
So printing money creates inflation. He needs to bring in, like Trump needs to bring inflation down. That is exactly what's happening, okay? So he needs to bring inflation down. What I do think is going to happen is going to crash everything. The Fed will see they need to react. They're going to start cutting. As they start cutting, they're going to start printing, and then inflation can cool off as well. Which will be very, very, very good for the market. So this is what I'm expecting. Hype. I want to look at Hype at $16, $17 as a gift, as this post says here, and 100% agree with it. Now, if you look at FDVs and if you look at earnings, Hype is incredible. One of the tokens that I'm looking at, again, I'm not looking at anything for now, but Hype would be, look at this chart. I mean, it's destroyed. It's like completely destroyed. What I'd really like to see is another flush down here or a complete recovery. I would be interested. I'd rather buy Hype at 20 than buy it at 17. The reason is because I want to see a close above. So if we can get a close above there, or we can get a close below, then a close above at 17. I'm definitely waiting for daily or for hourly closes before I do anything. But Hype is definitely on the list that I would be interested in buying. S or Sonic. And I talked about Sonic, very important. Some people mixed Sonic with actually writing Sonic in. That's a different token. Sonic is the upgrade from Phantom. So if you look at the chart, FTM is still on Kraken. I don't know what's doing here, but anyway, so FTM, this is FTM, but you need the SUSDT. That is what you need, and this is the chart that I'm interested in. Like I literally told you here to buy in. Like we literally talked about it 15th of February. Look at this pump here. I said that we are going to have a 50% retrace, and then we buy from there. This is exactly what happened. It's a decent retrace. Now Sonic is very interesting for multiple reasons. One of the main reasons is their revenue. So if you look at their revenue, Sonic has 270,000 in 24 hours. 𝗠𝗓, which is like obviously skyrocketing at 111,000. AVAX app revenue at 167,000. Now, if you look at FDVs, their value, basically the protocol's value, there is a massive mismatch. So you look at Sonic at 270,000 revenue, yet the FDV is at 1.8 billion. If you look at 𝗠𝗓, which is revenue is 111,000 and their FDV is at 25 billion, you start questioning where is the mismatch. Is 𝗠𝗓 way too overvalued, which could actually be, or is Sonic extremely undervalued? And Sonic being one of the fastest chains out there, I do think Sonic is undervalued. So what I would be really looking at is getting into a Sonic position. Again, I either want to see a high break, which is going to be quite expensive buying it at 80 cents, but I'd rather do that and be confirmed than to just buy it here and take another 30-40% dip. I'm a trader, so like if you're investing, I do think it's a great idea, but as a trader, I'm not interested. Elevator down, stairs up, I do think another elevator down, possibly down here to the 45-cent-ish region. This is what I would be interested in starting to layer in. Otherwise, I'm not really keen. Now, I want to talk about one more thing, which I was very bullish, Ordinals. Now, Ordinals, I told you about this. So I said Ordinals is very set, and I'm going to do a show on Ordinals. Again, I did one not so long ago, but I'm going to do one, and we're shooting a vlog about digital art on Bitcoin. But there is an uptick in Ordinals. It's Danny, big shout out to Danny and the 𝗙𝗘𝗙𝗙 team and project. Much love to them. Basically, the Ordinals usage for art on Bitcoin is quietly growing. This means that you can put art on Bitcoin. So people actually put paintings worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they put it on the Bitcoin blockchain, they digitalize it and put it on chain. That means it's immutable, and until the Bitcoin network runs, this thing's gonna be on there forever, just like you would put it on an internet or a server, but it's decentralized, so it's never gonna disappear. Now, the 40 largest inscriptions, you have to understand that there's 4 megabytes in a block, right? So if you want to occupy an entire block, you need to pay the basically the fee that it takes to mine an entire Bitcoin. And so the larger an inscription is, the more expensive it becomes. Now, it all comes back to the fact that, you know, what do you want to put? If you put a Picasso, and do you care if you pay $70,000 for an inscription or $6,000 or whatever that is? No, you don't really, okay? So what happens here is the largest the inscription, the more expensive it will be. But the interesting part is that the largest inscriptions, the 40 largest inscriptions, out of those, 10 were inscribed in the last month. That means a massive uptick in actually people interested in inscribing big inscriptions on the Bitcoin blockchain. And you only do that with proper art or something that you really want. Julian Assange, for example, his documentation of the war has been put on the blockchain continuously and whatever. Anyway, I do think that ordinals are still, and they are on bargains. So like I actually started looking up some of these ordinals now on Trio. If you go into collections, you will see some of these are completely beaten up. So I bought, for example, NodeMonkeys. I bought this for 30 and even have a vlog episode on this. You can go into the $1 Billion Hustle. There's a link in the description. You can check out the $1 Billion Hustle. But I bought a NodeMonkeys for 0.13. Oh, you see, it's actually quite. Look at this. Look at this. I should buy this. It's down to like 5,000 now. I should buy this. This is like 15,000 on the next one up on Trio is 15,000. Okay, I should probably buy this. So I bought it for like 13,000. I do think that you're buying into, when you're buying into ordinals, you're buying into, I'm going to have a full episode on this on Banter, but you're buying into the future, basically. Storytelling and time gives value to these things, and this is going to be part of the future. Anyway, what I wanted to say is that we have a partner that we work with. They open our eyes. They are Trio, and they are OrdinalsBOT. You can create your own inscriptions. The interesting part is that obviously as time passes, Bitcoin becomes more expensive. It will be much more expensive to inscribe. So we launched our own collection. It's not for sale, but if you watch the vlogs, we will have a giveaway of them. You can find it on Trio as well. This is all from the vlog episode. Each vlog episode actually has one NFT. And so the way we do it is we simply inscribe stuff with OrdinalsBOT. So there is a link in the description. I want you to go and check it out. This is the future. I'm telling you that this is the future. You also have a token. I'm telling you now 145. Mark my words, cause take timestamps here. This is the bottom on Trio, in my opinion. This is the native token. People will inscribe art, high value art and whatnot on Bitcoin, and they are leading in that. So go and check them out. Do an inscription. If you have like a wedding or whatever and you want to inscribe your photo here, you literally just drop it and then you just inscribe it. I think it's like $30, $40 to do one inscription on this is the fee you pay for the Bitcoin network. But it's fascinating what these guys are doing. So check them out. What else do we have here? We have Texas voting on strategic Bitcoin reserve bill tomorrow. It's going to be big. We have a bunch of catalysts again. Friday we have the White House meeting coming up. Pump Fund token, Pump Fund trading volume nosedives to 94%. Absolute recklessness. Like there's literally nothing happening here. And then Marty Party, I just wanted to address this because some people sent it to me in DM saying, hey, Binance is using Marty Party, I think he has some cool alpha, but like you need to be much more careful what you do. Like you can't post shit like this. Binance is threatened by Solana and will not tolerate the market cap of Sol higher than BNB's, which is the token of Binance. They sell off their Sol holdings, including using customer funds to manipulate Solana whenever they need to. Now, so here is what I think. First of all, I see zero chance that Binance is playing with users' funds. Why? Because they have an oversight from the SEC. There's literally zero chance that they can actually make that happen. Second, it's a very strong accusation and actually creates a lot of FUD around people, because if this was true that they are selling Solana, including customer funds, that would mean that they are basically taking your fund that you custody at Binance and they're selling it. So I don't think this is good. I don't think it's cool. So Marty Party, be better, and guys, don't. I don't think this is at all the case. And nothing. I'm not protecting Binance. I'm just saying that it's completely stupid, this tweet. And here's another interesting thing, which I just wanted to open your eyes up. And a lot of people come and they say, talk about politics and Trump and I just wanted to show this sort of shocking clip. So yesterday, obviously, Trump talked to the Senate or the Congress. And if you look here, I had a complete post about it. Where is this? So you can find it down in the description, this thread. Go down to the description and check it out. Read it. It's really, really good in my opinion. But what I wanted to show you that before that, the Democratic Party, they created a same video for every single member and they posted it on their social media. Look at the manipulation we're looking at. Look at just for everybody who's saying Trump.
I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
If you don't know, these are all posted on their social medias, okay? Individually, not together. These videos are posted. Tell me this is not a coordinated FUD campaign. It's the same shit. Look at this. So much so that the editor used like literally the same videos. Look at this. They used the same videos The exact same videos, the exact same font, the exact same text, everything the same to create a coordinated campaign. Okay? So just something to open your eyes up. Someone's saying they are right. Bro, you can't help everyone. You can't help everyone. They can't help everyone. Okay, so let me do some tokens here for you because I think it's very, very relevant and you need to look into it. Again, I'm still waiting to deploy. I'm not deploying. I'm not in a rush. I do think we're going to have a dump. I did buy some Trio today, so that's that. But otherwise, I'm not. Aptos. Let's look at Aptos. Did I actually draft this here? Look at this. I drafted here and I said that we're going to have this bounce and then just see from there. Here's what I think is going to happen. Here's the bounce, break below. We do need to see a recovery from this. Aptos does not look good. Beaten up big time. Massive liquidity. I mean, I don't want to say Aptos can go to $4 because I don't think so. I can tell you one thing about Aptos that I know for a fact. Incredible team, incredible tech, incredible product, very well connected, great network, great supporters, great backers. Aptos is one of the things that I am holding back and I would be holding for multi-cycle if I had to. Like I think it's a very great thing. Do you buy this as a trade at 5.7 with all this uncertainty? I don't think so. Do you buy this as an investor for the next 2-3 years? Definitely. But I'm still waiting to deploy as a trade. NEAR, let's look at NEAR. Same thing with NEAR, right? So look at this. This is like a decent protocol. It was up here like $18. It's at a very, very good zone. I mean, if it makes a high on the daily, bro, this can actually be really good. Is there a close there? Let me just see. Yeah, okay, so if we see, yeah, NEAR can actually be really good. If we see a close above here at 3.5-ish, I am interested in taking this long. Until then, I'm not. If we have a close above, I am interested in taking that long. Doge, let's look at Doge. Look at this. I even said we probably got a dump here. Let's get so many drawings, eh? Recovery. Doge looks good as well. I do think if it catches a bid, like if the market catches a bid, could be good. The only thing I don't like is that this is an elevator down and stairs up. So for now, again, not interested, but I do think Doge is a great buy. I mean, if you look at this, Doge is definitely a great buy. Massive liquidity. Doge is going back to all-time highs. No questions. In my opinion, no questions. It's just a better time. Best project to hold for multi-cycle. I mean, it really depends. It's very difficult. This is the reason why I started to rotate, because right now you don't really know what's going to happen. So I'm rather just rotating. I'm not... HBAR, I had a very decent trade yesterday in HBAR. Scalp trade, I didn't share because I thought like people... Yeah, you guys were like getting wrecked. And I didn't want to share scalp trades. But it was an incredible trade here. So here's what I teach you all the time, right? I say that there should be a 4-hour market structure shift. There was a 4-hour market structure shift here. No, this is not even... Oh yeah, here. 4-hour market structure shift here. This is what I've been looking... Where did we take that trade, cuz? Where did we take the trade? Just look at this. Yeah, so it started build. This is the 4-point structure again here. So you have a high here, low, high, low, high. It comes back, low. It closes above, high. Comes back 50. Look where it comes back. This is exactly how you build up scalp trades. Beautiful. Comes back 50, closes above. I think this is what we took yesterday. No. Was it this? Oh, yeah, it was this. Sorry. It was this one. I think we took this high. Exactly. I think we took this high. Was it today or yesterday? I don't know what we took. Maybe, I don't know. But we took a decent trade yesterday. But this is a perfect example on how you actually trade this market. Like scalping. That's it. Down, down. And you can just take it. You can take this scalp as well. Simple. Like you take this, target a new high, 2 to 1. That's it. Like it's just so simple. Like this is how we've been writing it. But you can get stopped, and if you don't have proper risk management, that is a problem. OP. Let's look at 𝗬, because I wanted to look at 𝗬 for a long time. That was at 300. It's not even that bad, bro. Like I thought it was beaten much worse, but it's not. It's not that bad. Above 364, I'll be interested. But guys, I think it's time. I think it's time for me to say thank you so much. If you have liked this show, I would like you to physically like this show as well. Just smash the like button. And the reason why I'm standing is because I have to get back to school recording. School is happening very, very soon. I do invite you and encourage you to go and check out my my X profile. There's a link in the description to my X profile that you will be able to find, and you will get all the data. You will get threads, you will get videos, you will get charts, you will get up-to-date information, you will get motivation like here. This was me in 2020 and much more. So go and do that. Otherwise, I truly appreciate you. Come back tomorrow. We're going to have another day, another opportunity, and we're obviously going to see if the market skyrockets or not. For now, I'm sitting out. I'm taking some scalp positions, but I'm not in a rush to get back into the market. So just please, 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 it's all about survival at this stage, and also scalps. So don't start investing in multi-cycle today. Start, wait out what's going to happen on Friday. I do think there will be a dump, and then we'll just take it from there. Guys, truly appreciate you. If you're rewatching, there are 2 little videos up here that you can check. There's a subscribe button right here that you can click. And yeah, just come back tomorrow. And thanks for watching. I believe I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Ciao, ciao.